Hi everyone, in this little tutorial I'm going to show you how to do a B Street shoe inspired design. As you can see, I've already got a shoe design in here. Before we get started, I just wanted to quickly have a look at what B Street shoes do. So this is a company where you can get your shoes basically custom made with different designs, anything from just colors and patterns all the way through to portraits of people, flowers, and other such designs, so you can get different images. They do designs on pretty much any shoe, any high brand shoe, and pretty much anything that you're interested in. So let's get started. So as you can see, I've already pulled an image into SketchBook of a Converse shoe that I'm going to do my design on. Before I get started on that, what I'd like you to be able to do, which was going to really be helpful before we get started, and it's a really good thing when you're playing around with your layers. This is a really cool strategy. So down the bottom here, you can see that I've got a background layer. If I just make my shoe invisible, you'll notice that my background on my screen is currently white, and that's the color that is preset here. You can change the color. For this task, I just want to make our background invisible. So I'm just going to eyeball that background layer, and you'll now see that there's a checkerboard on my screen. This indicates that this whole area is now empty. And the reason I want you to do that is for the following step. So once you do bring in your image, you can now see that my image has a lot of white space on it. So what I want to do first, so it's easier for me to do my design layout, is to remove the white from on my shoe before I start drawing it. So I'm going to go to my selection options. I'm going to pick up my magic wand. I'm going to click on the area inside my shoe where I'm going to do my design, and I'm going to delete it. If you're on my version of SketchBook, simply press delete on your keyboard. If you are on a different version of SketchBook, you'll need to go over to your layers. When you click onto that layer, a box will open up, and then choose clear. And then you'll have this. So now you can see that this area is empty. So what that means is if I pick up a paintbrush and I have a layer below my shoe layer, so let's move this one below. If I'm on a layer below and I now draw, you'll see that if I go out, I can go anywhere in here and it'll only show inside that area that is empty because it's on the layer below. Okay, so this part of my drawing is now empty. So if I'm on a layer below, it will go anywhere inside that. It's just a really good way of cropping in so you only see what you want inside that area. So if I wanted to then also do something inside the circle, I could delete it. There's a faint circle there. If I bring that back, my circle is still there as a guide, but inside is empty, so I can keep playing around. You can continue moving white areas until you're happy. So that's pretty much the area I'm going to be working in. If at all later down the track I want to paint somewhere else, I might remove more of that white. So I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to lock that layer so I can't make any changes. Okay, so layer underneath, if you don't have a layer yet, underneath, press the add layers and then move it below your drawing layer. So I have an idea in mind. So I've already gone to Google and I've looked for some really cool designs so far. So COVID-19 now is a big topic of concern and discussion. So I've got this little image here of a French bulldog. For my version, I'm going to copy and paste the image in. If you've got a different version, it might require you to copy and paste, to save and then insert your image. So whatever version you have, grab your first image and pop it into your sketchbook. So for my design, because I've got that circle there and my French bulldog face is pretty similar to a circle, I'm going to do that design up here. So to start off, I'm just going to place my reference images. So if you've got reference images or an idea in mind, and bring those images in, place them where you think you want them, and then start doing your design from there. This is where it's just basically going to give you a good starting point. So I want my French bulldog head to be a little bit bigger. I want it to be able to sit inside that circle, so I can create a design from there. My ears will basically attach from there. Okay. While I've got this here, I only want really this kind of design. I am going to draw my own copy later on. I'm just going to remove the extra stuff that I don't want. So I'm going to remove this gray and white. So I'm going to pick up my magic wand tool again. I'm going to click on that area outside. I'm going to press delete to get rid of it. Okay, so now I've only got that little bit that I want. I don't want that black bit either. Okay, it's not perfect, but I just want the idea there because I'm going to draw it later on. So I like my little French Bulldog here. He's got a mask on because of COVID. And then I thought, well, if it's COVID, I should probably have some, the COVID virus. So this is what the COVID virus looks like. I'm wanting something that I can use as a reference image. So I'm probably going to want something that shows me the whole image of the COVID. This is pretty good. I'm going to probably use this. So this is going to be my reference image. So I'm going to copy and paste that into SketchBook. Okay, I'm going to reduce the size of that because that's really, really big. I'm just going to bring it over so I can see what I'm working with. Alright, so again, I only want the image of my COVID section there. So I'm going to select, and because it's a circular object, I'm going to use my circle select tool or my ellipse tool. I'm going to move that over the top of my shape. I need a bigger one. So I'm going to do another one. I'm going to make it slightly bigger. There we go. So now it's covering over that. Okay. So I'm on this layer. I've got that selected, but I want to delete everything outside, not inside. So I'm going to click on my inverse. So now everything outside that circle is selected. I'm going to delete it. Okay. Again, if you're on a different version, instead of pressing delete, click on the layer and then choose clear in the box that opens up. All right. So now that I have this, I'm going to go back to my move tool. I want this to float around. So I clearly want to have it smaller than my French Bulldog head. Okay, so I might put one there. I think I want more than one. It is a virus. So I can then duplicate that layer so that I have more than one, and I'm going to move that layer somewhere else. Okay, I might have it. It's really interesting if you have things go off the line. And I'm going to continue to do that until I'm happy with how many I have. So I have my GIF font here. I'm going to copy that across into SketchBook. Reduce the size so I can see it. So I think I'm going to have some graffiti come across here in the middle. So I'm not ready for that yet, but I know I'm going to keep that in mind. So whatever I do, I want to have that there. So I've kind of got an idea. I've plotted out where I want things just in general. I can change them around later. Okay. I'm just going to eyeball my font for now because I don't want to work with that. And I'm going to eyeball all of my COVID viruses. Okay, I'm just going to focus first on this little French Bulldog here. So I do want this to be my own artwork, and I've got someone else's reference image here. So what I'm going to do on a new layer above my French Bulldog layer, I'm going to do my own drawing. Okay, so I'm going to use a variety of tools. I'm going to make sure that I've got my black selected, and I want to have a smaller brush. So you can use your puck or you can use your keyboard. So I'm just going to make sure I've got a nice small size brush. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a stylus to help me draw on my screen. I'm happy with that line. I'm okay with that, but I think I'll make the rest of my drawing slightly smaller. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to use my paintbrush, I'm going to outline all of the features of my dog. I'm going to speed that up so my recording is a little bit quicker. Just before I do speed this up, I'm going to use my symmetrical tool because my animal head is symmetrical. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. So if I use my symmetrical tool, once I draw on one side, it will duplicate on the other. So that's just going to be a time saver for me. Are very even and very consistent. If I bring back my white background. So I've finished my French Bulldog, I've coloured him in. So I'm ready for my next bit. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my COVID-19 my little COVID-19. So I know that I'm going to use this more than once. So instead of drawing it 20 times, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it once and then I'm going to duplicate it and reuse it. So again, I'm just going to use my paintbrush and I'm going to outline it, and then when I'm happy with that, I'm going to duplicate it. So I'm going to speed up the video just so it's a little bit quicker for you guys, and then I'll come back to it. Okay, so I've outlined my little virus, so now I'm going to colour it in. Once I finish colouring it in, then I'm going to duplicate it. So again, I'm just going to make sure that I've filled in all of my lines. Once I've done that, I'm then going to colour it. Okay, so there you have it. So I've done my little COVID virus, so I want to duplicate that so I don't have to draw it a number of times. So on my version, I can click and choose the duplicate layer. If you're on a different version to SketchBook than I am, if you click on the layer, a box will open up and then just choose the duplicate option. All right, and then I need to use my move tool. I'm going to move it around and I'm going to resize it. So I might put one down there, duplicate it again, get my move tool. I might move him over there. I might make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so I've duplicated my virus a bunch of times and I've spread them out in varying sizes, some that are coming in and off the shoe as well, because that creates interest within an image. And I've left this area here reasonably empty so that I can do my graffiti font, and then I might go back and see if I need to add any more little viruses. So for my graffiti font, what I've done is I've grabbed an image off Google of a font that I like. I'm going to use this to then trace out my letters, and I'm going to write COVID-19. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do that with my brush tool. I'm going to outline them. Once I finish doing that, I'm then going to color them in. So I need to do that on a new layer, and I'm just going to move around my font, reference image, until I have COVID written. Okay, so I finished off my font. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to color it. I'm going to use a complementary. So a complementary color to red is green. They're opposite each other on the color scheme. So yellow is opposite purple, and red is opposite green, and blue is opposite yellow. So I'm going to use green for mine to complement my red viruses. Okay, so I'm now happy with my font. I'm just going to make sure I've got it where I want, so I'm just going to use my move tool. I'm just going to make sure I'm happy with where it is. Okay, so I'm happy with my overall design. I'm now going to just finish off with putting a background color in on my shoe. So if I currently leave it like it is, it'll be white. Do I like it white? I actually don't mind it white. I might try a few different colors, see if there's anything else that might look better. Maybe a yellow, green, blue. On the yellow, I also kind of like the white. Might do a light yellow. Okay, so I'm happy with my overall color that I've chosen for the background, and there you have it. A B Street shoe design based on COVID-19 and my favorite little animal, a French bulldog. How about you have a try of your own design?